back to my YouTube channel, Animal Facts. I am Soraya Constantino, your host and animal enthusiast. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about red pandas. Now, this week I've chosen red pandas because they are one of my favorite animals. I think everyone knows what they are, but doesn't really know a lot about them. They just see how cute they are and they don't really think about it too much beyond that. So hoping that this one will be really informative this week. If you like the video, please subscribe, check us a like, leave a comment on what your favorite animal is. I hope you really enjoyed the video and learned something from it. So let's get started. Commonly known as firefox, the first panda, red pandas were first discovered over 50 years before the giant panda. However, the red panda is actually not a panda at all. They were previously classified in the families of raccoons and bears, but recently have been placed into their own family of Ailuridae. The red panda are slightly larger than a house cat and can live for up to 23 years. They spend most of their day resting and conserving energy while mostly active in the evening and mornings, and they are herbivorous, but sometimes they eat berries, fish, or even small rodents, but mainly they eat a very high bamboo diet. The red panda resides in the subalpine areas of Nepal, India, Bhutan, Myanmar, and China, where they prefer an altitude range of 2,300 to 400 meters. They prefer a habitat with very high bamboo cover, and they avoid areas disturbed by livestock or human settlements. For years, people have wondered whether animals were conscious. Do they think, feel, and communicate? Well, one of the ways that we can assume that an animal is intelligent enough to be considered conscious is by observing their actions and seeing if they can communicate and are aware of themselves and others around them. Red pandas are usually quiet and stick to themselves, although they do display their intelligence when communicating. The two most common calls are a quack snort, which is a response to surprise or threat, and a wah call. The wah call is a loud contact call that sounds like a child's cry and is made between a mother and their panda cubs in times of threat. Red pandas also express their emotions through their postures. They show aggression by perking their ears and raising their head, and they show their submission by flattening their ears and lowering their head. It's these displays of emotion and communication that make us believe that they are intelligent enough to be somewhat conscious. Throughout the history of mankind, we have always relied on animals. They have helped us evolve and advance our sciences, and we use them in so many areas of life that would not have been possible without them. We live so closely with animals, and they are deeply embedded into our lives. In the Himalayan region, the red panda is acknowledged as the state animal of Skurum, and its image was used to promote the first international tea festival. Shamans in Western Nepal use the fur of the red panda in their ritual dresses during healing seances. They consider the red panda to be a protective animal, which guides the wearer against the attacks of aggressive spirits. In other areas of Nepal, it's considered that the red panda's tail or fur to be a good luck talisman. People in Bhutan maintain it's a good omen if you see a red panda travelling on your business trip, or some people consider them to be reincarnation of Buddhist monks. They have also been popular in zoos since they were first exhibited in 1869 in London. These are all examples of how we interact with red pandas and how they've had an impact on our lives. It's hard to determine the worth of the cultural impact as it comes down to personal perspective. However, red pandas are also beneficial in other ways too. As humans and animals are so closely connected, we are always impacting each other in either negative or positive ways. Humans impact the pandas in a negative way through anthropogenic threats, which mean that the humans are causing damage to the environment of the red pandas. And red pandas positively impact humans by being an ambassador for clean air and water for approximately 1 billion people on the planet. The forests where the red pandas lives are the lungs of South Asia. If these forests are destroyed, they are not only impacting the red pandas but also humans. It's important that these forests are intact and function properly so that humans, animals and plants can live a healthy life. Conservation biologists use red pandas' presence as an indicator of the overall health of the forest. Protecting their habitats also protects other threatened animals like the Himalayan black bears, clouded leopards, and many bird species. All these animals help balance the ecosystem, and although some people might not understand the role that red pandas have in our lives, it does not mean that they are worthless and should not be cared about. Without them, the forests of South Asia would be severely impacted, which would have a flow-on effect to humans and other animals. This is reason enough to respect and care for these cute and cuddly creatures. Sadly, the red panda is listed as an endangered species and protected by law and by the National Parks and Wildlife Conservation Act. Their population has declined by 50% over the last 20 years, and there may only be 2,500 remaining in the wild. Some of these reasons are due to deforestation. The Himalayan forests are decreasing at an alarming rate, which is a difficult issue to face when the human race is expanding and needing room to inhabit or grow food. It's not easy to find the balance when it comes to needing more space and it impacting the natural habitat of important animals. Illegal pet trade is another reason. These pandas are cute and personable, and people have a particular liking towards animals that are cute and cuddly. Biophilia drives people to wanting to connect with nature and other life forms, and as such this makes people want to keep them as pets. Unfortunately, these pandas are not domesticated and thus they cannot deal with the stress of captivity. Climate change is another massive reason. The limited habitat range available for red pandas in the eastern Himalayas is shrinking, and they can no longer accommodate them, resulting in possible extinction because of climate change. The impact of climate change on bamboo species will also lead to a potential shortage of food for the red pandas in their habitat. When looking at the future of red pandas, captive breeding programs and several zoos are helping to protect the pandas' genetic diversity and raise awareness for the animals. However, red pandas are extremely hard to breed as they're very picky mates. In order to help the red pandas, we do need to stop deforestation. We need to plant new trees in place of the lost ones, or completely stop cutting and clearing areas as well. The Red Panda Network is a non-profit organisation that protects red pandas and their habitat. They work with the local community to establish wildlife corridors, and they train forest guardians to raise awareness about red pandas and work with villagers to establish protected areas. You can get involved by spreading awareness, donating and fundraising. Thanks so much for listening.